Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Billy. Today I would like to share with you 3 dresses with princess seamed bodice that I made using new look pattern 6723. And for the dresses, I cut out a size 8. And according to the pattern, size 8, your measurement is about 31.5 inches. And the finished garment measurement is 34 inches. So that would give me about 2 to 2.5 inches of wearing ease. So I thought that should be sufficient. So the new look pattern calls for a gathered skirt. But since I've already done a gathered skirt in my video number 1, so I wanted to try something different. So for the first dress, I paired it with a bit of a half circle skirt from New Look 6390. So this is the pattern that I used for the skirt. So here is the first skirt, and as you can see, I made it with a summer suiting wool material. It's a very dark heather gray with very faint tan lines, so I thought it looks professional. And so this is a dress, and as you can see, it has one center panel and 2 sides, and then in the back it has a center back zipper and 2 center panels and 2 side panels, and I made it with 3/4 sleeves, and so this is and then the skirt. So here's a video of this dress, and as you can see, I paired it with a black belt and black pumps, and paired it also with a strand of pearl necklace. I thought I look very professional. And originally I was concerned that the dress might be too swingy because of the circle skirt nature, but it turns out to be fine. You know, it was not an issue, and I liked it very much, so I'm very pleased with it. So actually, to get to this point, I actually need to make some changes. After I initially made up the dress, but before the lining, I tried it on, and then I realized that most of the ease, the wearing ease, is actually at the apex area, and so it totally does not work for me. So here is the dress form that you know, with the original with the original bodice, and this dress form is exactly my size, the same shoulder lengths and everything. So so it's been incredibly helpful in helping me sort of check for fit as I progress in a project. So it's hard to see here, but basically the ease is all at the apex area and not so much at the side here. And so for me, this is clearly is too much fabric here. This is probably cut for somebody who's at least a B or a C, and so it just does not work for me. And also, the princess seam here seems a very seems to really veer towards the side, and I would like to be a bit closer to the center, even though I still do not want it to go through my apex. And so I needed to make some change. And so here's a video of what I did. So these are the original pattern pieces for the bodice front. And what I needed to do was to move this line closer to the center front, and also to reduce the overall bodice measurement from the garment. And so here is here's a new modified center front piece. And so what I did was, as you can see, that I did not change the shoulder. The shoulder is the same, and the arm side is still also the same. And what I did was I lowered the neckline just a little bit, but that is separate. And so what I did was I decided, so this is where my apex is, and so I wanted to be about just, so I needed to move this line by about 1 inch. So then this is where my apex is. So then, so I moved the line towards the center front by about 1 inch. Then I drew a curved line from the bottom of the arm side to this point. And then I just kind of go down, continue on to the waist area in a gentle curve. So that is what I did. And because I needed to keep the waist the same, so what I took out here, I needed to add to the back piece here. So this is the original bodice side front. And so what I did was here, so this is a new piece. And so let me lay over the original piece. So I did not change the arm side. You know, this stays the same. This curve is also the same. I didn't change it. So what I did was I added what I took out here and I added here. And then so the waist would stay the same. And then I just drew a straight line from the bottom of the arm side to the new waist line. And then so this gives me the same waist. You know, what I took out here, I added back here. And then this. And so the idea was hoping that what I reduced here would just be enough to accommodate, to reduce the overall circumference of the bodice, and while still moving this line from here to here, so closer to my apex. And so that was what I did. And fortunately for me, it worked out the first time. So after I made the changes to this pattern, I tested it out on a muslin. So I used a cotton fabric to do that. And so the result is this second dress. So this is a polka dot 100% cotton dress. And so after I made the bodice, I tested out on the dress form and it looked much better. And so then I went ahead and made the rest of the dress. And so for this polka dot dress, the skirt I used was from this new look pattern 6843. And I used view A, which is this one here. It has a little bit of it's cut a little bit bias, but not too much. So definitely less swing than the summer suiting wool dress. And so this is the dress here, and I added the pockets, inseam pockets from the very easy Vogue pattern talked about in my video number 1. So the same thing, 2 side panels. So here's much better, and it fits much better. And so here's a video of this dress, and I paired it with a simple black belt and also black pump, and it looks very summery, and so I'm quite happy with it. And so for this dress, because I decided that it was good enough that I will actually wear it around, so I also lined it with China silk. And so far, all the dresses that I have made have had sleeves, so I wasn't sure how to line a sleeveless dress. And the original instructions from the pattern tells you to pull the lining through the shoulder straps, which do not seem to make very much sense to me. So I did some research on YouTube, and turns out there's another method called the burrito method, which involves rolling up and then sewing the outer fabric inside separately. But to me, that also doesn't seem to make a lot of logical sense. There has to be another way. So I kept looking. Then I came across this video from Lisa Comfort of Sew Over It, and there she talks about her method, and so that made the most sense. And the one significant benefit of her method is that you can actually easily change the shoulder strap length if you need to change it, which was the case here, because after I tried it on, I realized that the armhole was a bit too low for my liking for a sleeveless dress. So I need to shorten the strap by about 1/4 of an inch. And her method allows me to go back and change it very easily. So to me, that was an excellent tutorial. And I have that linked in my description box. So after making this dress, I was very pleased with it. Then my fabric that I placed an order from online order from Mood Fashion Fabrics here in New York City. Mood, of course, is quite famous because of its collaboration with the show Project Runway. So I ordered a herringbone fabric, and then they had 1 yard left, so that's what I got. And so that became the third dress that I made using this pattern. So because I only have 1 yard, but it's actually a 60-inch wide fabric, so it was so I managed to squeeze it out of here. And so what I did, because I only have 1 yard, so that determines the shape and the length of the skirt. So I knew I needed to cut a narrow skirt. So then I used the pattern also from the same New Look 6843, but I used this pattern straight skirt view C here, but without the waistband. So so this is the result of it, and I actually had a little bit of fabric left, so I added two little flaps, so I thought that would be cute. And so as you can see, the front same and 2 side panels, and the back. And it's actually a lot of work to try to line everything together because obviously this skirt was not designed to go with this bodice. So then I need to modify the seam placements a bit and also modify the darts both in the front and the back. So then they will all match. So it was a bit of a labor of love, but I'm very glad it all worked out. So here's a video of the herringbone dress, and as you can see, I paired it with simple black pumps, and because of the construction of the dress with the 2 flaps, I do not need a belt. And I paired this dress with a simple pearl necklace, and I am very pleased with it. It looks very cute, and I am quite pleased how I was able to squeeze out this dress out of a yard of fabric. So these are the 3 dresses that I made using this pattern, and overall I'm very happy with this pattern because by pairing it with different skirts, I was able to achieve very different looks. And overall, I do find princess seam bodices a lot easier to sew than bodices with darts. So I'm very happy I tried it, and I do think this princess seam bodice would be a regular part of my sewing repertoire. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.